Hey, welcome everybody to the Lesser Saints Discord, your one and only free show to the YouTube Saints. Hey everybody, it's 4:30, 4:34.
Close enough. Shut the fuck up, Tables. No one likes it.
Alright.
I got scotch!
Aww. That's sad.
It's also a lie. There are plenty of people who like you, just no one in the audience.
Yeah.
I have
So we're joined with Ward Off Demons this week instead of Addie. Speaking of which, we're going to be holding some opening auditions for more people to join in.
And this is my audition, by the way, Addie. Sorry, I'm just saying.
Yeah, Addie can't make it tonight. She might be watching in the chat and joining you guys in the chat, but yeah.
Yeah, Addie, I'm after your job.
Love you, Addie.
I'm only kidding, Addie. Love you, Addie.
Alright,
Discord news. Nothing really for the general public Discord. There may be stuff coming up on Sunday, but that's because we have a mod meeting. If you have anything you want to suggest for us to talk about during the mod meeting, bring it up to a mod. They should be adding it to our agenda list. If you want to make sure it gets on there, send it to me. But yeah,
there is one person who I have had a few troubles with in the Discord, and I really think they need to be banned.
Jables. Why are you talking about Jables?
Banning is my territory.
Yeah, it's Rimshee. But get rid of Jables.
I can't do shit to Rimshee because he got elevated to admin status. It's fucking bullshit. Can't change his nickname or anything.
Yeah, this is what they elevated me to admin status so I could put the leash around your neck.
Yeah, yeah, because before it was Waffle.
Yeah.
No. This is okay. So, Ward, you joined the Discord long after Waffle stopped hanging out as much.
Mostly because he's busy.
I don't remember Waffle at all. I genuinely don't.
That's the point. That's the
point. So Waffle used to host this show with me, and he was the one that kept me in check. And then all of a sudden, his life started getting busy, and then out of nowhere,
successful. So good for him.
Yeah,
real life,
yeah. It's it's like, you know, school, getting a real career, and all that stuff. So, yeah, and so as soon as he left, Rimshee all of a sudden got bumped up to moderator status, and then to admin, and so on and so forth, and yeah, it was in the transition period.
Yeah,
and then Rimshee started producing the show, and then now we're here. Now Rimshee holds me back. Fucking bullshit.
Hey, I know what it's like to be in a cage, man. Anyway,
so I'm taking a bit of tension here between you two. Is this something you feel you need to discuss? I'm here for you guys.
What happens in the bedroom stays in the bedroom.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you feel free to message one of us if you have anything you want to bring up about that we should talk about in the mod meeting. If you don't want to bring it to us privately, you want to bring it to us publicly, next month we'll be having a mod meeting. But I think that's pretty much it for the Discord news. Keep an eye out on Sunday for any updates. Beyond that, shall we move on?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, it's your show, guys. I'm here as a guest.
Oh, I know you're here as a guest. I'm talking to Jables.
Yeah, we should move on. Is that what you're getting at? Because these are three of my favorite things. Rearrested after seizure of guns, drugs, and monkey in cage. I don't like the cage part, but Darday targeting an organized crime gang have seized guns, drugs, and ammunition along with a wild animal in Finglass.
Oh, this is Ireland, isn't it?
Maybe.
No, this is the Republic of Ireland.
Oh,
cool. Yeah.
Finglass?
Oh my God.
50 officers from Finglass and Blanchardstown. I don't know. I can how to say your fucked up words.
No. You got it right. Full marks, man.
Oh, sweet. Backed up by armed support units, carried out searches at halting site on Radoleth Road. 2 machine guns, a Magnum handgun, a silencer, and 200 rounds of ammunition were seized. That's why I said it.
I just hate how people make that confusion, and it's all because fucking
James Bond.
James Bond, but I mean, isn't it John Wick where they have a scene where 2 guys are shooting at each other in the middle of 2 separate crowds, and no one, not even the people directly next to them, are noticing gunfire? That's not how suppressors work.
No, they help protect your hearing, but you should still wear ear protection regardless.
Really?
Well, it depends. Subsonic you can get away with. Supersonic, you're gonna still have the sonic boom from the projectile.
Hollywood lied to me, man.
Shocker.
Yeah, I've spent too many times at metal shows without earplugs or anything like that. My hearing's damaged enough, so I'm just extra careful now.
Last time I got my hearing checked, they said I was doing pretty well. I had above average hearing, but I can't hear shit. That has more to do with my ability to pay attention, though. Probably.
You see, when I last went for my hearing test, what the doctor told me was my hearing's absolutely fine. What I did do though was slipped him an extra £20 for when my other half came in them to say I actually do have hearing problems.
Don't tell the wife. She's not watching tonight, is she?
No, she's asleep. It's fine.
More than $100,000 worth of cocaine and cannabis was also discovered, along with a pressing machine indicating the presence of a cocaine factory.
No, I'm sorry, no. The pressing machine is fuck all to do with cocaine. What the pressing machine is used for is to produce MDMA into pills.
You're
Yes.
talking to a resident druggie.
So the pressing machine might actually, depending on the pressing machine that they have, it might actually be for pressing the cocaine into bricks.
Okay,
which is more of a processing thing, but I wouldn't really necessarily call that a factory. If they have a tablet pressing machine, then they might actually, because since you can press it, you can fit more in a compact space, so you can sell more in a smaller space with smaller bags, and people can hide it more easily and then just break it up later.
Hell, they can leave it out of the bag and just stuff it in something.
I've actually seen one of those pill pressing machines firsthand. Not the illicit ones, but I've actually seen how they work as far as the pharmaceutical industry is concerned. Like the great big fuck off things. Quite interesting.
Yeah. So, or they might also be selling ecstasy, and cutting it with cocaine, and yeah. Anyways,
sounds like a hell of a Friday night.
That's a Thursday for James.
I'll tell you some stories on there.
Let's finish this article.
A monkey in a cage was also found and taken away by animal welfare officers. It is currently with the DSPCA. Darday said they have been targeting a Finglas-based organized crime gang involved in drugs trafficking for some time. 2 men, aged 30 and 40, have been arrested, and they can be questioned for up to 3 days. A woman in her 30s was also arrested at the scene on suspicion of handling stolen goods. See, okay, that's a law that I don't necessarily agree with, the handling or possession of stolen goods, because sometimes you just don't know.
Yeah,
like if I
actually got experience with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's knowingly handling and handling and possession, that's one thing. But if you just the car was stolen? I bought it from the dealership.
I bought it. Not even like a car. It's like I bought a chainsaw off Craigslist. You could get in trouble for possessing it if it was stolen.
Yeah. I had a mobile phone of mine stolen a number of years ago, and it turned up in a friend of mine's hand. He bought it from the marketplace. I'm like, that's my phone. I even did the whole thing of star hash 06 hash. I'm like, look, that's the IMEI number of the phone. That's the IMEI number of the phone I had stolen. You've got my phone.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, it was fucking weird.
Yeah, and Biotech Babe, I do agree. Poor monkey. That monkey should be free and roaming around and doing all the cocaine and marijuanas with those people.
By the way, let's finish this, because there's like 3 paragraphs left.
Yeah.
No, I already finished it.
Did you?
Yeah.
I
a woman in her 30s was also arrested at suspicion of handling
stolen
goods.
Shit, yeah.
In that case, anybody watching, Finglas is in Ireland, and it actually is within Dublin County. It's not far from Dublin City.
Mm.
For anyone that's interested.
So, you're saying when I go to visit some of my buddies in Ireland, that's where I should go first?
Probably not what he's saying.
I'd say stay away from Dublin City because it's a tourist trap. And
No, go to Finglas.
No, because they've been caught. Avoid Finglas. They've been caught. They've been raided.
That means somebody else has taken over. Fine.
Well, that depends on when they were caught.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I have a buddy that lives over here that's from Ireland. That's the first thing that he told me. He's like, if you ever go to Ireland, get the fuck out of Dublin. Yeah. That's the first thing you need to do.
Wicklow's really nice if you're looking for scenery. Not so good if you want to, have fun.
That depends on the fun you want to have.
Alright.
Yeah.
From monkeys in cages to monkeys in cages.
From monkeys in cages to monkeys in cages to Planet of the Apes.
Horrible transition.
Yeah, whatever.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Chinese scientists implant human brain genes into monkeys to make them smarter.
Of course, this is the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I found ones elsewhere for the same article, but it was like New York Times. It only lets you view a certain amount of articles per week. And so I didn't want anybody to be cut off from viewing what this article is.
Yeah, it's so stupid. A new study into the unique evolution of human intelligence has raised ethical concerns after Chinese scientists implanted human brain genes into monkeys to boost their development. Researchers inserted human versions of MCPH1, a gene that scientists believe plays a role in development of the human brain, into 11 rhesus monkeys. However,
why 11? Why not 12?
Because they're Chinese and they have a thing about numerology. I don't fucking know.
Why not make it a nice baker's dozen and do 13?
I have a thing about even numbers, okay? Leave me alone.
No, I don't blame you. They found the monkey's brains, like those of humans, took longer to develop, and the animal performed better in tests of short-term memory, as well as reaction time compared to wild monkeys. However, the monkeys did not grow bigger brains than the control group. The test, the latest in a series of biomedical experiments in China to have fueled medical ethics debates, has already drawn ethical concerns and comparisons with dystopian sci-fi Planet of the Apes.
Cue the picture of the really pissed off monkey.
To be fair, we did not read this before, so the joke about the Planet of the Apes is just universal.
Yeah, keep in mind, I find all the articles, and I just read headlines, maybe look at a picture or two, but I don't actually read the articles before I hand them over to Rimshee, and then Rimshee doesn't read them, unless it's like something he's really interested in.
Yeah, sometimes I will read through them.
Yeah.
But usually if I'm looking for a in-the-moment reaction, I'll wait, even if I really want to read through it.
Yep.
They are not trying
to for off the cuff.
They are not trying to recreate Goku. For that, you have to start with an alien Saiyan. You can't you can't start with Earthling monkeys. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, you can't because it's more of the apes that are stronger than people, and they don't have tails.
Yeah.
So,
anyway, it was conducted by researchers at the Kunming Institute of Zoology and the Chinese Academy of Sciences, working with U.S. researchers at the University of North Carolina. Why the fuck is the U.S. involved in this shit? The study was published last month in Beijing-based... What?
Oh, yeah, the CDC.
CDC.
That might be why, No, because the CDC's in Georgia, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is the University of North Carolina, so it's an actual school. But it's still something where ethics are being questioned, and why the fuck is the U.S. involved in that? Anyway.
China, for the past, year and a half, China's been doing some crazy shit that has brought up, some WHO ethical boards.
Shut up, Larry. The study was published last month in Beijing-based journal National Science Review. Our findings demonstrate that transgenic non-human primates, excluding ape species, have the potential to provide important and potentially unique insights into basic questions of the actual of what actually makes humans unique. The author wrote. What? Excluding ape species. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
By the way, 99% of the articles that we read, we find typos, and I don't know why that happens. I don't know why it is, but it happens every fucking time.
Journalistic integrity doesn't exist anymore, and proofreading isn't a thing either.
Editorialism doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty much dead.
Editors are dead. They just killed all the editors.
It was the purge. Let's continue with this unedited shit.
Carry on.
Yeah.
The monkeys underwent memory tests requiring them to remember colors and shapes on a screen, and were subjected to MRI scans. Only 5 of the monkeys survived into the testing stage. What the fuck? That's a 50% survival rate. What the fuck?
That's less than 50% technically.
It's like 44.
Oh shit.
God damn, Larry.
That's what.
Although it's okay because Eastern culture 44, 4 plus 4 equals 8. 8's a really good number in Eastern cultures, so we're all safe. It's fine.
You've been hanging out too much in those flat Earth discords, man.
Shut up, Jables. The authors...
Rimshee, I know the signs. I've been there.
Shut up, Jables. The authors said the rhesus monkey, though genetically closer to humans than rodents, is still distant enough to alleviate ethical concerns. However, some question the ethics of the experiment.
No shit.
Really? Who would have guessed it? You just go to the Planet of the Apes immediately in the popular imagination, said Jacqueline Glover.
Larry, no.
Jacqueline Glover.
Yeah, I know. I'm fucking it up. A University of Colorado bioethicist. To humanize them is to cause harm. Where would they live and what would they do? Do not create a being that can't have a meaningful life in any context, she told MIT Technology Review. Larry Bum, I'm just going to call him Bum. Larry Bum, a researcher at Hong Kong University Center for Genomic Sciences, downplayed sci-fi comparisons. The genome of rhesus monkeys differs from ours by a few percent. That's millions of individual DNA bases differing between humans and monkeys, he said. This study changed a few of those in just one of about 20,000 genes. You can decide for yourself whether there is anything to worry about. I think I will decide for myself. But
not allowed to do that. You must have your brain shaped and moulded into the way the establishment wants it. Damn it!
Baum added that the study supported the theory that slower maturity of brain cells might be a factor in improving intelligence during human evolution. In January, Chinese scientists unveiled 5 macaws cloned from a single animal that was genetically engineered to have a sleep disorder, which all developed signs of mental problems, including depression, anxiety, and behaviors linked to schizophrenia. They said that the study was intended to aid researchers into research into human psychological problems. And last year, Chinese researcher He Jinkao, whatever the fuck that is, shocked the scientific community after revealing that he had successfully gene-edited 2 twin girls born in November to prevent them from contracting HIV.
Oh!
Wait, was it the same guy that did this?
No, they're just mentioning that China is not a stranger to the bullshit that is being stupid.
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning earlier. For like the past year, they've been having some ethics gaffes and being...
How's that racist, Larry?
By the World Health Organization.
How's that racist, Larry? Tell me.
I want to point out one thing, right? Let's just back this up, that very last paragraph. Last year, Chinese researcher He Jiankui shocked the scientific community after revealing he had successfully gene-edited twin girls. That in itself sounds horrific. Right?
They're assuming it was successful, and what he considers... shut up, Larry. What he considers successful is the fact that he... They were born without any noticeable defects at the time of birth.
Yeah, we covered this in a previous episode a while ago. We don't know what the long-term effects are going to be. We don't know if it's going to form some sort of mutation that's going to affect them later in life.
But in
the
essence of it,
potentially,
that's a huge mammoth breakthrough.
It is, and once we're done with this article, I'm gonna have I have some things to say about ethics and science.
Yeah, I'm just quite excited about the concept of being able to stop people getting it. The gene editing, I'm not so comfortable with, but if it gets us closer to immunization,
yeah.
Well, that's a statement of the ends justify the means. Theoretically, with that sort of logic, all the experimentation done during World War II by the Nazis, that definitely forwarded a lot of the a lot of the medical sciences. But
not even medical sciences, but just sciences and why not? I don't care. I wasn't gonna bring up Nazis, but since you brought it up, yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I was gonna hint at it. But
I'll be blatant about it. Fuck it.
You know what? If we're going to go to that point, then we need to go into it full bore, and let's not just hint at it. Let's say it. The Nazis kind of did a lot of fucked up shit, and a lot of that was the human experimentation.
And it was extremely helpful to the greater knowledge in medical science, and not just medical science, but all different forms of the sciences. Extremely helpful. Terrible. Let me just rephrase this. Terrible what they did. It was absolutely terrible.
But the information's fucking invaluable.
Yes.
Yeah, but at the same time, it goes down to the ends justify the means. Now, don't get me wrong. If someone's going to do something that fucked up to get the data, you have a choice of destroying the data or using it. And it's really a toss-up, because using it could theoretically be, in theory, could be said to condone it, or even tell people, yeah, do this in the future, just don't get caught. And even if you do get caught, we'll still use it, so if your goal is benevolent, it's fine, you'll just have to deal with prison. Whereas deleting it might discourage it, and that's an ethics question that's really hard to answer. Because we wouldn't be where we are in the medical world if it weren't for what happened in those camps. That being said...
let's actually go back even further. Let's go back even further. Right? Because this is an important point, because a lot of this goes to the anti-vax debate as well, which is Edward Jenner. what Edward Jenner did would now, if he did it today, be seen as completely screwed up. But we all salute him as a hero for what he did. He created this vaccine to smallpox. And the way he did it was testing on a live human being.
But that's where nuance comes in. There was also even more recently. I think it was in like the 70s or the 80s. There was an orphanage that would take in twins and then separate the twins and have them adopted out to different families. And they also had like lists of, okay, they're going to this type of family, this race of family, that race of family, this age, that age, so on and so forth. And they had like all these things, different tests, and they followed these kids throughout their life because they were trying to figure out nature versus nurture. Now, was it ethical to separate those twins? However, here's the fucked up part about all of that. All of their research was lost.
No!
30 years, like 20 or 30 years of research. Just gone.
That's what's called being a fucking dumbass.
I think there was a fire or something. Burnt up all the files.
Yeah, it's... The fact that they didn't have backups is stupid.
Yeah, and they were doing this under the table and like not notifying the government that these experiments were going on or anything like that. They were just kind of doing it all on their own.
That's not acceptable.
Which is a really interesting study to do, but still
like
kind of fucked up.
You got to get ethical approval for this kind of stuff. And generally, when you're testing on humans, they are fully aware that you're testing on them. They have consented. At the very least, they've consented to be tested on, not necessarily what they're being tested on.
I've done some drug tests just to get some extra cash before.
It's full. You have made full consent.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, I can tell you an example here of something I actually did when I was at college. I did a psychology course when I was in what we call sixth form college, which is aged between 16 to 18. And one of the experiments I wanted to find was, do you know that old thing, the old picture where if you look at it one way it's an Eskimo, but if you look at it a different way it's an Indian?
Yeah.
I wanted to do a test on priming, which is where basically I would sit people in a waiting room, and this was all signed off by my tutor, right? I would have people sat in a waiting room, and at times I would have the heating way fucking down to make them really cold. Right? I'd turn the heating off and blow fans in. And then at times I'd have them really hot. And I wanted to see if the temperature they felt would impact what they saw. What I told them they were for was a completely different experiment.
Yeah, and that's one thing. Sometimes part of the experiment...
Consent to it, though.
Sometimes part of the experiment is a lack of awareness as to what the experiment actually is. In those cases, generally you have to tell them, hey, we're performing an experiment, and you have a blanket, like, I consent to being experimented on for research purposes.
Yeah.
Who was that psychologist that did the experiment where he'd ring a bell and give a dog a treat to see if they would salivate whenever he rung a bell? Pavlov, thank you. Yeah. Pavlovian responses are actually really interesting. I've been, about a year back, I was experimenting with that with people at my local bar for doing some magic tricks and stuff. I'd see them just about every night. Yep. So I'd keep play a little noise and just give them something like an Altoid. And, or a piece of gum, or I'd ask them to get me a beer. Depending on the person. Never worked out yet, because I don't see them every night. But if I could get somebody to hang out with me every night at the bar, I could get them to buy me a beer every time I rung a bell.
Can I actually tell you something here that I've seen happen? If you get it right and you don't use a bell, you can have that anchored to somebody within 30 minutes.
Sorry, say that again?
You can have someone anchored to a certain response to a certain stimuli within half an hour.
Based on what?
I've seen it done.
Okay.
I have seen
well,
someone...
that deals in a lot more of hypnotism and everything like that. I'm a fan of Banachek. Let me just say that.
Banachek, so you're aware of NLP as well.
Yeah. So, yep. Okay.
Well, let's move on to less happy stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we'll say less happy stuff because as far as Jables and I are concerned, this one's not as happy. Some people might find it good news.
Can I take this one, guys?
Go for it.
Yep.
Because I'm with you on this, right?
Go for it.
And
it's on the screen. Go ahead and read it.
Thank you. This happened at least partially in my country, although not really. And this, Julian Assange, WikiLeaks co-founder, arrested in London. WikiLeaks co-founder Julian Assange has been arrested at the Ecuadorian embassy in London. So technically he wasn't arrested in London, he was arrested on Ecuadorian land. But
with
Assange
their permission.
At the embassy, this is coming up though, in 2012 to avoid extradition to Sweden over a sexual assault case that has since been dropped. At Westminster Magistrates Court on Thursday, he was found guilty of failing to surrender to the court. He now faces US federal conspiracy charges related to one of the largest ever leaks of government secrets. The UK will decide whether to extradite Assange in response to allegations by the Department for Justice that he conspired with former US intelligence analyst Chelsea Manning to download classified databases. He faces up to 5 years in prison if convicted on a charge of conspiracy to commit computer intrusion. Assange's lawyer Jennifer Robinson said they will be fighting the extradition request. She said it set a dangerous precedent where any journalist could face US charges for publishing truthful information about the United States. She said she had visited Assange in the police cells where he thanked reporters and said, "I told you so." Assange had predicted that he would face face extradition to the US if he left the embassy. I mean, this is ridiculous. And we all know exactly why this is happening, and I'll tell you my theory on that in a moment.
Oh, this isn't even done yet.
Yeah. What happened in court, though? After his arrest, a 47-year-old Australian national was initially taken to a central London police station before appearing in court. Dressed in a black suit and a black polo shirt, he waved to public gallery and gave a thumbs up. He pleaded not guilty to the 2012 charge of failing to surrender to the court. But finding guilty of that charge, District Judge Michael Snow said Assange's behaviour was the behaviour of a narcissist who cannot get beyond his own selfish interest. He said
so Ward, when are you moving?
Right, I'm going to say this right now. I can actually claim dual nationality.
Like I said, when are you moving?
As soon as I fucking can at this rate.
Oh, God.
I mean, it goes on and on. I'm not going to read the whole thing because I'm just getting angry. But this guy actually found some fairly damning information about the United States government and what the fuck they were up to. There was what I can only imagine
let me correct you right there real quick. He did not find it. He merely published it.
Okay, he had it given to him and he published it. Fair enough. Right, so
wait, no. Let's get even more specific with this. He was a co-founder of the website that published it.
So yeah, we can't even say he published it, but having said that, anybody who's old enough will remember the Napster situation.
Yeah.
But all of this shit that's going on, right? Why have there been this shady shit backhand deals going on between Ecuador and the UK? Because it wasn't the US that Ecuador released Assange to. It was to the UK. It wasn't to Sweden. It was to the UK.
Well, okay, there were some people charged with espionage in Ecuador trying to infiltrate the embassy that Assange was in. That's enough. So.
Yeah, but honestly, do you know what my opinion of this is at the moment? In the UK at the moment, we have got this fucked up situation called Brexit. All that's happening here is that we are in a dangerous situation when we're going to leave without a deal. even in October, we could be going without a deal because Theresa May can't get her fucking ducks in a row. So she makes a backhand deal with the Ecuadorian government to say, look, release him to us. We'll sort out the shit with the United States. UK then gives him to the United States, and we get a better trade deal from Donald Trump.
Yeah.
You're assuming that they're planning on leaving.
I just think we should take the UK and make it our 51st state.
Do you know what, man? I'd actually be down for that shit at the moment. Theresa May or Donald Trump? I hate Trump. I'd rather be a 51st state right now than be part of the fucking EU government, especially with the recent fucking meme articles and Article 11 and 13 going on.
All I'm thinking of are battle cries of "Revenge is ours."
Well, oh man, it reminds me of a certain meme. Keep talking. I'm gonna post it.
I mean, this right here, right? The charge against him are espionage in the United States. This whole thing of how can he fail to appear before the court when the charges of this sexual harassment shit or whatever it was have been dropped? Seriously.
Yeah. Well, not all charges have been dropped. That's why he was in Ecuador for so long and just staying in that embassy.
Yeah. But it's just, it's absolute bullshit. Right. When you get to an embassy, that land within an embassy is deemed as the land of the country that the embassy is for. Right? There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, something like that.
Right?
Embassy laws are kind of tricky.
The British Embassy in the United States is classed as British land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are military bases across the world. For example, I was an army brat, so I was, for 4 years of my life, I was living, end quote, in Germany. But I was living on British-owned land. I've got a family member who was born, end quote, in Germany. But they were born...
Oh, yeah, that's like U.S. military bases, technically. I have a buddy that was born in Cuba, but he was born on a military base, so he was technically born in America, but...
By the legal definition, any military base or embassy falls as the property and the land of that military, or of the source country of that military or embassy.
Yeah, exactly. But like I say, with this, I mean, oh god, I mean, how can they do this? Seriously, the U.S. charges against him alleges that he conspired in 2010 with Manning to access classified information on Department of Defense computers. He faced 5 years in jail. If they get hold of him, they're going to do him for under the Terrorism Act.
Which, by the way, one of the last things Obama did in office was commute that sentence for Manning.
Yeah, yeah, good point.
Yeah, a little fucky.
I have my own theories as to his motivations for doing that. I won't go into it on the live stream because I'd really rather not get your server shut down.
We'll talk
about that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah,
your channel. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, let's move away from this. Yeah, this article was pretty long. Let's move away from this into some actual science.
Yeah, some cool shit.
You want to take this one, or should I, Jables?
Oh, well, that's our title article. Let me see your black hole. Well, this is actually a different one. It's how to make sense of the black hole image according to 2 astrophysicists. And yes, it's Vox, but that's also the same reason as the other article, which was I didn't want to use sites that strongly encourage you to pay.
But also, this isn't too bad.
Yeah.
Like, it may be Vox, but at least it has some real information to it.
Yeah. This week, a group of scientists unveiled the first ever image of a black hole at the center of Messier 87 galaxy, some 55 million light years away. The image comes to us from a vast and incredibly sophisticated scientific collaboration called the Event Horizon Telescope, which involves 200 scientists in 20 countries who have been working together for nearly a decade. The image they created has been eagerly anticipated by all those enthralled by black holes, and it does not disappoint. A deep black well in the center of a bright ring of plasma and gas. Some may not be impressed by the slight blurriness of the image, but there's so much more to it than what immediately meets the eye. Two astrophysicists, Shepard Doleman, the project leader of the Event Horizon Telescope, and Katie Mack of North Carolina State University, who was not involved with the effort. Why'd you mention her then if she wasn't?
No,
Never.
because she actually is one of the astrophysicists who explained how it's so important.
Oh, okay. Walk me through a few of the coolest aspects of the image that helped me appreciate just how wonderfully mind-blowing it is. Fucking hire editors, you fucking fucks. Okay. First, check out the singularity in the light we can't see. Oh, don't even hire editors. Put that shit into Google, and it will read it back to you, and then you can find your mistakes. How about that?
Or if you can't even bother to do that, with a few clicks you can install Grammarly.
Oh, Grammarly.
I've actually
The
used
shit that
word.
I used when I was a freshman in high school. Weird.
Or don't forget that those red squiggly lines in Microsoft Office underneath the words means that they're misspelled. Green ones means that there may be some...
This wasn't even misspelled. This was a whole word missing.
Green ones mean that there is potentially some grammatic issue, so read over that again.
I don't think that should open Microsoft Word. I'll check that later.
That's in Microsoft Word.
Blue ones mean something as well.
No. That specific phrase, if that would show up with squiggly lines. Let's begin with the dark spot, the hole in the center. The first thing to know is that while it may look like an object, it isn't one. Not exactly. The dark spot is a shadow, a sink, an exit portal from our observable universe. There's a dark spot, but we can't see it. It's forever removed from our view. But how? The black hole is black because of singularity, or a region where the fabric of space and time itself has collapsed in on itself. I should do more of a Rod Sterling. Forming a single point with infinite density. That single point has such strong gravity that as light approaches it, there's a region beyond, which nothing can escape its grasp. That region, called the event horizon, is kind of like the top of a waterfall. Now imagine a fish swimming toward the top of the waterfall. At a certain point, the water is rushing so fast that the fish can't escape by swimming in the other direction. In this metaphor, the beam of light is the fish, and it's approaching the black hole. When the matter and the light get too close to the black hole just swallows it up. It removes the light from the universe. Max says.
Bum, bum, bum.
When you look at the dark region of the black hole, no, there's light and matter in there. We just can never, ever see it. Those fishes have left our observable universe. Okay. Second, think about what's happening to the light we can see. In the image, look at the ring surrounding the dark center. You'll see it's brighter on the bottom than on the top. You might think this ring of material, or the innermost edge of it, represents that event horizon. It actually doesn't. That boundary is known as the photon orbit, and its diameter is about 2.5 times larger than that of the event horizon. Light that travels beyond the photon orbit could conceivably escape the black hole if something was to reflect it back. But it's unlikely to. All the light in this region is heading toward the event horizon, and we don't see it because it makes it there. Ring around the photon orbit is bright because the matter in it is being torn to smithereens at temperatures measured in the billions of degrees, as it is that Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Yes.
As it is devoured by the black hole. And it's brighter at the bottom because that light is actually moving towards us. This is due to something similar to the Doppler effect. Think about how the siren sound higher... Oh, how a siren sounds higher in pitch as a cop car moves towards you. Or in my case, fire trucks, because I live right next to a fire station. And that tells us how this material is rotating as it falls into the whirlpool or waterfall, Max says.
Did you say waterfall?
Waterfall.
Don't
Waterfalls are
go
life.
chasing...
Waterfalls are death.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Sorry, couldn't resist.
Stick to the regular diet that you're used to.
By the way, guys, I want to say, in the chat we have someone, Four Lights, a good buddy of mine, very good friend, in fact.
The
yeah.
fuck are you typing, Eddie?
That's Russian. Who knows Russian? Where's Griggs?
Yet. That's all I know. That's it.
I'll see if the bastard's on.
Fucking fake letters.
Yeah, he's on.
Yes, this is hard to wrap one's mind around. Fortunately, the National Science Foundation made this handy animation showing how the light warps in slings around the black hole, leading to the image we see above. You know, I think the animation was actually at the top. Oh, wait, no, it's also here. Okay.
It's further down, I think.
Yeah. Well, no, you have to click on it again to restart the GIF.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow, that animation's pretty damn cool, actually.
Yeah. I can't see what Rimshee's doing, so I don't know if he actually did it for the audience.
He did.
Oh, I sat there.
Okay. But the new image is truly extraordinary because it lets us see for the first time raw geometry of space. Ooh, Dolman of the Event Horizon Telescope tells me. It's a circle, just as the equations derived from Albert Einstein tell us.
Shocker.
Yay! Confirmed. That's how science works.
This is incredible.
Yeah. I know.
I mean, some people are, oh, what's the big deal? I'm like, but you don't understand. If you're asking what the big deal is, I can't explain to you what the big deal is. Just go and read a book.
Yeah. So
we speak of black holes and Addie appears.
Yeah.
Addie's not black.
If you guys have been watching us, if you guys have been watching us for the last 6 months, we've been covering a ton of science articles, because especially revolving around space, because there's been a shit ton of cool stuff going on in space lately.
We know more about space than we know about our own oceans, technically.
I know more about space right now than what's going on with current day politics in the U.S.
And that's awesome.
Yeah. Because I'd rather focus on space than fucking bullshit divisivism. Okay. The final thing that we should appreciate about the black hole image, that we can see it all. Telescopes used in the Event Horizon effort were radio telescopes. That means they only see radio frequencies on the electromagnetic spectrum. It could have been the case that all the activity surrounding the black hole could have absorbed or blocked those radio waves from reaching us. The material around the black hole is transparent to radio waves, so we could see through all the hot gas trying to get through the event horizon, Dolman says. Otherwise, all we'd see would be some big blob. A lot of things had to go right for this image to come together. There had to be some radiation emanating from the outskirts of the black hole, and it had to reach Earth without being knocked off course or occluded by a celestial object. The Event Horizon team constructed a virtual telescope the size of the Earth to view that radiation. More on how that works. Yeah, there's a link there. Whatever, you guys can look it up. It's a coincidence that the right size of telescope to see this black hole is the size of the Earth. If astronomers needed a telescope larger than the Earth, they'd be out of luck.
We can't see the black hole due to all this gas!
Tell her to eat less Taco Bell. Then comes the human collaboration. 8 observatories all over the world had to sync up their clocks to an absurdly specific degree. With more images like this, we can better understand the black holes that lie at the centers of galaxies. We can better understand how our theories of gravity work in the most extreme of conditions. And no, it's possible another image of a black hole might be coming in the future. The Event Horizon team also tried to make a shot of the black hole at the center of our own galaxy called Sagittarius A. Pronounced loud, it's Sagittarius A star. Oh, bullshit. There's nothing wrong with that data. On the black hole at the center of our galaxy, Dolman says, they just decided to analyze the M87 data first, he says. Black holes are some of the strangest things in our universe. They're at the same time tiny and massive, and they push our understanding of the universe to its extreme. We should hope to see more of them. Yes, if you look into black holes, your brain will hurt.
Yeah, it really will. Now, 4 Lights, who is
like 15
in the chat at the moment, at one point I was hanging out at his, and I went into the bathroom and went to sit down on the toilet, and there was this stack of New Scientist magazines to my left. I picked one up and it had like an article on black holes, an article on string theory, and then
mute the main mic. God damn it!
there was an article on something else there, and I think it was like 19 minutes later he must have knocked on and go, "Are you okay now? Are you passed out?" I'm like, "Can't talk, reading." And I came back out with the magazine and just finished off the article I was on, and the black hole thing made my brain fucking melt. Absolutely did. This stuns me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean... So, like I said earlier, for the past 6 months we've been doing a ton of science articles and everything like that, mostly revolving around space. And I have been baffled about the advancements that we've actually made that nobody is talking about. And I've gone down to my local bar and I've talked about all the advancements that we're making in like space travel and things like that. And nobody at my local bar knows anything about it, and there's quite a few like science savvy people there. It's just nobody is talking about these great things that are going on.
I think we're all getting distracted by, dare I say it, politics.
No, we're getting distracted by fake news. It's all fake news.
Fake news. Yeah. Rimshee, I think you should read this next one, because it might concern you in the near future.
Yeah, I think so too. NASA twin study reveals long-term space flight's impact on human health. NASA has published an integrated paper detailing the results of its twin study, which involved now retired astronauts and identical twin brothers Scott and Mark Kelly. NASA called the findings interesting, surprising, and reassuring, detailing the changes in Kelly's body caused by his nearly year-long time on the International Space Station. Ow. The twin study took place from 2015 to 2016 and was the first of its kind ever performed by NASA. The study involved astronaut Mark Kelly on Earth and his identical twin brother Scott Kelly in space. Upon Scott Kelly's return, NASA studied the effects of space exposure had on his health by comparing his data to that from his brother. What? God damn! This does not read well. By comparing his data to that from his brother Mark. A number of key findings have been detailed in NASA's study, including information about the effects space had on Scott Kelly's telomeres? Telomeres? Whatever. According to the space agency, Scott's white blood cell telomeres were surprisingly longer in space, but then were shorter after returning to Earth. 6 months later, the length returned to average. Mark Kelly's telomere length remained stable through the same period of time. In addition, NASA says its study found that Kelly's immune system responded appropriately while in space. Oh shit, where was I? Including in response to the flu vaccine. As the space agency previously stated, researchers also found variability in gene expression, with the majority of changes reverting to normal after half a year back on Earth. The exception involved a small percentage of genes related to DNA repair and the immune system, which didn't return to baseline after Kelly's time in space ended. NASA headquarters Chief Health and Medical Officer J.D. Polk explained, "The twin study has been an important step towards understanding epigenetics and gene expression in human spaceflight. Thanks to the twin brothers and a cadre of investigators who worked tirelessly together, the valuable data gathered from the twin study has helped inform the need for personalized medicine and its role in keeping astronauts healthy during deep space exploration as NASA goes forward to the moon and journeys onward to Mars." NASA had big ambitions for taking humans into space, including a long-term mission on the moon and eventually to Mars. Technological hurdles are only one aspect of this goal, though. The space agency needs data on how time spent in space impacts the human body. Though at this time its twin study has a subject of only one, the data remains priceless.
Right. One question about the whole article.
Yes?
At this time, its twins study has a subject of only one.
Yes.
How does it have a subject of one when it's a study on twins?
Because you had the twin who played the role of the control. That's not the one they're really studying. And
oh, you and your fucking semantics and your
this is not technically semantics.
They're also as a unit, as
yeah,
a twin unit. They are a subject of one because you have a single control and you have a single study.
Yeah, if you don't have a control, you don't have anything to base your study off of. So technically, that qualifies as a single subject, subject matter.
Oh, fuck you and your correctness and being right.
I'll tell you how the that's religion right after this show.
That's funny coming from a Brit.
I can admit when I'm wrong.
Hey, do you have a license for those words?
Actually, no, because we don't actually have a First Amendment.
Oh, now Addie decides to join in.
Oh, yeah!
Hi. Oh, hold on. I need a hot pocket.
Now she decides to bugger off.
Oh, well, fine. Fuck you too, Addie. Jeez.
Fuck me, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, she wanted a hot pocket. I'm not going to question what that really means.
She never... The thing is, though, right...
Let's look it up on Urban Dictionary, actually.
In all the time that I've been listening to your show while you're looking that up, right, she has never missed a show, right? She missed this show, comes in at the halfway through, sees me here, then fucks right off again. I'm getting offended.
How dare you? You offensive piece of shit, Addie.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, she's getting a hot pocket, and according to Urban Dictionary, you don't want to know.
No, we do. We do.
Not on air. Look it up on your own time. It's dirty. Really dirty. Like, I honestly suggest not looking it up. Anyway.
I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, God. We're gonna find out. Let's hear about... You proud?
That's fucking hilarious.
Right?
Oh, wait, am I seeing this?
That's great. Go ahead and look it up yourselves, guys. That's,
Yeah, get the Brit a declaration of... no, let's not get them a Declaration of Independence. Let's get them a constitution, a state constitution within the U.S.
We're trying... No, wait. We are trying to get a Declaration of Independence. What the fuck do you think Brexit's all about?
Yeah.
Oh, I know that, but that's because you're trying to be independent. I'm saying we skip that and go straight to the statehood within the United States.
Put it this way, right? If Donald Trump gets voted in for office again, the Queen's going to come back in and claim it's land and go, you lot can't be trusted to look after yourselves.
You'd think that, but America is just one big... I don't know what to call it. One big group of people who wants to shoot things?
Yeah, you're right. We don't have any guns anymore, so you probably beat us twice as hard.
Well, okay.
But you'll have guns if we take you over.
Roughly 50% of the world's firearm population is within the U.S.
No,
that's not including military.
That sounds confusing. 50% of the guns in the entire world are within the U.S.
Yeah. And that's not including military. That's not including military. Huh? I don't think it's including military. I think it maybe...
I thought it was 50% of the world's just period.
You know, that might be true, but I still like to think that it's actually something more like 54% of privately owned firearms are held by American citizens within the U.S.
Yeah, aren't there enough privately owned firearms within the U.S. that everybody gets two?
Yeah, something like that.
That's kind of...
and that might be lowballing, to be honest. There's certainly enough in the U.S. to arm every single individual person.
Or did you say that's scary?
It's not crazy. It's not scary. That's kind of... I can't comprehend how many guns are needed. Hi, Eddie. So I don't smell then, Eddie?
Yeah.
So I don't smell then? You don't hate me?
No, I don't hate you.
Because it's like you came in, saw me here, then left. I was starting to get upset.
Oh, sorry. Also, I wanted to point out that I haven't been like ignoring your invites to streams. It's just I get home and I'm tired, and I get sidetracked with stuff. Your streams are fun though when I do catch them.
That's cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Shoo. That's it. Shoo my stream, bitch. Shoo my stream.
also,
link is in the description.
Also, it's not that you smell, it's that you're British, and I'm allergic to anyone that isn't American.
Yeah, that's
She's got a point.
So wrapping your head around the amount of guns, it's not that scary if you grew up.
Yeah, I mean,
what you do is you don't start fights with people because they might have a gun.
No, crap. We just use knives because that's what we do in this country now. We just stab people or throw acid on.
Oh
them.
yeah, didn't you guys have an issue where there were like areas where people could like deposit their knives to get rid of them, and then those got stolen by criminals?
Yes.
The government solving problems one mistake at a time.
They literally, by outside police stations, no less, they had these great big fuck off yellow recycling bin size things, right? I mean, like they must have been about 1.5 meters high, a good meter deep, and width was probably about 2 meters, which was the amnesty banks.
Roughly 4.5 by 4.5 by 6.
Yeah. Yeah, some of these things were huge. There were some smaller ones outside the smaller stations, right? And not only did like the content of these things get stolen, at one point, from what I understand in London, like 5 of the actual bins themselves just got like dragged away.
Yeah,
Someone-
the UK government,
picked them up, put them on the truck, and just fucking went with them.
the UK government causing problems one mistake at a time.
Yeah. The thing is,
this
that I
is-
have some knives. I have some knives that I keep at home that I like. They are locked away from my child because, you know, I'm responsible. They can't hurt him. He doesn't know where they are. But they look pretty, and occasionally I get them out and I'll polish them and I'll sharpen them all properly, and I take good care of them. And they're my knives, and they're pretty, and I like them.
I'll rub them till they're all juicy.
I have some guns that I keep at my house that I keep locked away from my children, but they're pretty and I like them. And sometimes I'll take them out and I'll polish them or something and might cut something with them, but then I just keep them locked up. Same fucking argument.
I actually kind of needed mine not that long ago. Quick story. We had the power go out randomly one Saturday night. Won't get into the details of that. Suffice to say that the power company was fucking stupid. But Mr. Rimshee, I went to bed because it wasn't going to come back on until 7 o'clock in the morning the next day. And our apartment complex has absolutely no emergency lighting. Like, nothing. When power goes out, you're just left in darkness unless you have a battery backup or candles. And we definitely don't have... We only had a battery backup for my computer and the internet. Anyway. She wakes me up at like 2 in the morning because some guy is pounding on our neighbor's apartment door really loudly and screaming. And she's like, "Oh, someone's being an asshole outside," effectively. I groggily grab my pistol, and I go look for my Surefire flashlight, which I will probably be getting a different flashlight here soon. And yes, Y2K, for the whole internet, I am the battery that supplies the internet. Shut up.
Can I? Did you say flashlight? Just to specify and clarify.
Yes, flashlight. It's a Surefire
just
flashlight.
Just in case anybody misheard. That's all.
Surefire.
By the way, we are looking for a sponsorship by Fleshlight. Isn't Surefire the one with the 3 settings? It also has a skull basher and a window breaker on it.
No, Surefire is the one that recently had the controversy, but about destroying firearms. But I've had this thing for fucking... Oh god, it's been nearly a decade now.
Okay. Never mind. Keep going with your story.
And so I'm sitting there, and she felt so very comfortable by the fact that I had a firearm, and she's fairly anti-gun, or at least used to be. But the fact I almost went out to the hallway to make sure that everything was all right, but the guy had walked away. So I mean, it ended well, but Miss Rimshee felt safe because I had a firearm on me.
Weird.
I've got to be honest, right? The whole thing of what I said there about I like my knives and you use the same argument of your guns, the conversation we've had before, I am no longer the same mindset that I was regarding being pro gun control.
That's fair.
Right.
My goal is not to change. Well, I would be happy.
Well, I mean, Ward, we've had this discussion in the past, you know, about how gun control actually is in the U.S. and how people perceive it.
Oh, look at California.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get started on that, though.
Yeah.
I have feelings. Anyone in here who thinks I don't have feelings about gun control in California needs to actually sit down and talk to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because they will learn. They will learn very quickly how much I hate gun control in California. But I won't get into it here.
Also, Larry Kubiak, Saints have a Pornhub account and they don't post porn. I feel bamboozled. They posted a whole video of Nancy Pelosi naked. I don't know what you're talking about.
No. Nancy Pelosi writhing on a table.
Yeah. Sorry.
Didn't that get taken down?
No, I think it's still up. Larry would know. He obviously just went there recently. So.
Yes, Crab has definitely mentioned that people have heard me ranting about stupid Californians. And it's not stupid Californians, it's stupid California law. And stupid people within California, because not all of them are Californians.
Okay. So
there are so many stupid Californians.
So for time, we're gonna skip ahead to the satire articles.
Are these the last two? Yeah.
Yeah, the hard times.
Can I take this when I told you it's satanic, please? Because
yes.
This sounds
yes. Go for it.
Amazing. Hang on, I just need to take a mouthful of drink.
Better be quick, otherwise I'm gonna take it.
Satanic messages found when black metal played forwards. Yes, forwards, guys. Washington, parental groups across the nation are growing concerned about a new recording technique known as front masking, in which satanic messages are conveyed when black metal albums are played normally, a watchdog organisation confirmed. It's no longer safe to let children listen to black metal. Kids all over the country have been asking their parents why some shithole whore has worms in her snatch. These are truly wicked times, said Peg Portier, founder of the Children's Centre for Musical Health. We urge parents to remove any records in the home that have illegible font or feature a black and white photo of a heavily face-painted individuals who look to be yelling. Parents were also specifically warned about albums recorded by Scandinavian musicians.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's a band
By the way, they have some of the best fucking metal.
They really fucking do. Like, there's a band called Apostle Pustule. That is an amazing name for a band, who I believe uses front masking in a song called Cradle Robbing. It's not masking if it's fucking obvious, you fucking dickwads. I'm
Front masking.
I'm worried.
No, see, no. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's why it's called masking. Here's why it's front masking. Because all the Christian parents expect the demonic messages to be played when you play it backwards, but they're being played forwards, so they're never gonna find out unless they actually listen to the music and play it forward. That's why it's masking.
You know what? Apparently there's a couple of Christian rock bands out there that if you play those songs backwards, you actually do hear some dodgy messages from the devil. Do you know what's even worse? If you play them forward, you're listening to Christian rock.
I can't say that out loud.
I can because I used to listen to it. Unironically. I'm worried people play the song forward so they can hear lines about sacrificing goats to Belial and taking an infant's soul, said concerned parent Ned Doherty. I don't mind fun math songs like Inverted Pentagram, but this is going too far. I'm sorry, have these people read the story of Abraham? Or maybe the story of Job? Like an entire book based on this shit where God had a bet with the devil that Job wouldn't turn his back on God when he was being tormented.
Yes, Ward, I can tell you quite a lot about the Bible.
Yeah. And for those that are listening that aren't quite aware for whatever reason, although I'm quite honest, I'm ex-Mormon, so I know a lot about scripture.
So he has part 4 of the Desert Trilogy too under his belt. I don't have part 4 yet. I haven't read that.
Yeah, part 4. I think I've got part 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and all up to 368. I think they've got now. Copies of the Ensign.
Why magazines. Doesn't that surprise me?
Fuck me. Some music fans feel differently, however, including devout metalhead Dave Orner, who claimed he's happy to discover the blatant messaging. Back in the old days, it was a lot of work to find out where the incantations for Blazing Virgin were and then play them backwards. I can't tell you how many Iron Maiden albums I've been desperately trying to find the hidden satanic message. This saves me a lot of time, plus the black mass sounds downright silly when you hear it backwards. Meanwhile, Bjorn Avik of black metal band Tricking
Wait, Bjorn?
Bjorn, yeah.
Bjorn Avik. Avik.
Do you think he's formerly of ABBA fame?
Yeah, probably.
Same guy. His optimistic parental watchdog groups will soon stop their witch hunt. Their lyrics to Burn the Feces are some of my truest poetry. If some child ends up performing a satanic incantation because of it, I should not be held accountable. If you force me to go back to putting backward mission songs, we won't be able to release any music digitally or even on cassette. That's a good point. This is the big deal for full-time musicians who happen to love Satan like myself. At press time, the Children's Center for Musical Health reported finding frontman satanic messages in all 1,349 black metal albums studied. That, I tell you what, right, honestly, if you hadn't told me that was satire, I would actually be going, yeah, only in America.
Yeah. Yep. Bible Belt.
Fuck did you post, Daddy?
I'm surprised that they didn't even mention like some other death metal and black metal bands like Amon Amarth and try to say that they were trying to convert kids to paganism, which would lead to Satan.
Can I please just very quickly, I'm not going to share too much about the story, but there is something out there where there was the frontman of a band called Twisted Sister. His name was dragged through the mud about what his lyrics meant, and he actually had one song called Under the Knife. And some overly pretentious bitch, basically, tried to tell everyone it was about like murder and torture of women, and really it wasn't. It was about the fear of going under the knife and under sedation for an actual surgery.
You know what's really interesting?
He appeared in front of I think it was Congress, and he gave such an eloquent interview. And please go and find it, people. Please.
Yeah, that reminds me of a song that was done called Blurred Lines. Oh, wait. Never mind.
You know what's really interesting?
What?
The re-release for Doom, the updated music for it, the artist who did that actually put in satanic images if you take the music and do spectroscopy with it, or spectrometry.
I've heard something about that, but I didn't
That's cool. That's perfect.
No, it's actually
true.
It's fucking cool, because if you take, like, an actual audio... What the fuck are you saying, Addie? What? Why are you saying I have a third penis in my left armpit? It's in my right armpit.
Yeah, he took that picture in a mirror, Addie. Can confirm, though. Met him in person. Gave him a hug, poked me in the cheek.
I mean, honestly,
don't
though,
ask questions.
certain things I read, and I kind of think, I hope they're satire, and then I find out they are, I'm like, thank fuck for that. Sometimes I go, I really hope this is satire, and find out it isn't, and go, fuck it, that's too much internet for tonight.
Well, there was an entire website that shut down because they couldn't get any crazier with their satire, because a lot of their satires started becoming true.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was like a year ago or something.
Southend News Network. And they ran this story around, I think, 4 or 5 years ago about hot cross buns. And the whole article, I mean, the whole site was satire, but this one article was about how there were maths teachers campaigning against hot cross buns because it was confusing the children between the addition and the multiplication symbols. Right, and it was the article was beautifully written. It was obviously clearly satire, and they were doing it just to try and go, yeah, this really is satire. Our whole website's about taking the piss. What of it? But then people actually said it was anti-Christian to remove hot cross buns, and that's what they jumped on with the article.
Yeah. Actually, I'll talk a little bit about my work right now, because I had an issue with an employee claiming that everybody was anti-Christian. I had to have a talk with him. So he wanted to play Christian music through a speaker.
Right.
And because that's the music he wanted to listen to. And we have like radios and shit that play music throughout the shop. And people had complained about it. And I had to talk with them, and I had to say, hey, some people are complaining about your music. Could you turn it down, maybe get some headphones or something like that? And then he was like, well, why can they play whatever they want, and I can't play my Christian music? I'm like, well, they're not necessarily playing whatever they want. They're playing pretty neutral music. It's just like simple, basic. Yeah, it's like some classic rock, some orchestral shit in some places, and things like that. And he was like, well, why can they play those songs and I can't play my Christian music? And so I took out my phone, I opened up my Pandora, and I played one of my death metal stations. I was like, would you be happy if I played this around you all the time?
Are you still there, Jables, or are you having issues?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm still here.
Yeah,
would you be happy if I played this around you all the time?
Yeah. Yes. I'm playing death metal to him. And his response was, no, because that's satanic. That's blah, blah, blah. It was Amon Amarth. They're all about, like, Nordic myths and everything. That's all they sing about. It's nothing demonic or satanic. And I was like, exactly. That's the thing. Not everybody's Christian. Not everybody wants to hear Christian music. If you have a problem with the music, talk to everybody else and find something that you can agree on.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Now, are you in the US aware of something called the Eurovision Song Contest?
I've heard it's shit.
I've heard about it, yeah.
It is pretty shit. I'm going to be honest. It's cheesy. It's not just camp. This thing is camper than a camp man trying to be camper gay camp. But a number of years ago, there was a Scandinavian band called Lordi who appeared. And they sang this song called Hard Rock Hallelujah, and it was metal. I'm not going to say it was death metal, because I don't really think it would be. But they came on in masks, they had these fucking full body costumes on, and I was watching Eurovision ironically. I was watching it, I was living at home at the time, I was with my mum, I'm like, let's put this on, let's just score it on them, let's just guess how many points that the UK is not going to get, and then Lordi came on. And I just stopped everything I was doing, because it was background, and just watched, and was like, holy shit, they're putting on a show, and they won it. It was one of the biggest upsets I've ever known of in Eurovision history. Because they just came out and basically broke all the fucking unwritten rules of Eurovision as to what a successful song should be. And they just went completely different with it. It was in 2006, so 13 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant. I mean, the lyrics start with, hey, stay away from the lady night, hey, don't you mess with the devil's bride, is in the chorus. You got to pull out, can't you feel the darkness falling, get the hell out, can't you feel the heavens roaring, the deadite girl's gone wild. And it just goes on, and it sounds really dark. And one of the lines is, then she'll suck you dry. I mean, and that's what I mean, is but they put on a show and they entertain the crowd, and people need to just get behind what they think is actually being sung about. And actually realise that maybe the lyrics aren't as bad as you think.
Yep. Well, exactly my point with Amon Amarth. All of their songs are just old, like, Norse folk tales and mythology and shit like that.
And let's
most of them are actually Christian.
And let's
it's not
be
satanic,
honest,
it's pagan, motherfucker!
And let's be honest, most of Christianity is pagan festivals that have been stolen and rebranded.
Well, technically, you could claim that Christianity itself is pagan. Or at least polytheistic.
In a yes.
That's why I said
yes,
technically you can claim it.
We don't have enough time for that conversation right now, but yes.
we don't have enough time. This one's done.
Tune in next week where we talk about how Christianity is actually polytheistic and paganistic.
Yeah.
You can hear us listening to Discord. Please join us next week at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love you all. Have a good night. Hop over to the Saints. They start in like 2 minutes. Go.
If that.
Go now. Link in the...
Now. Go. Go.
Bye. Love you.
Yeah. Are we clear?
I don't know. That's your job, Rimshee.
Oh shit!